What are we talking about today? Lighting. Lighting is probably the one thing that has changed the most drastically over the past 12 months. I say that with like a full grain of salt. Look, I'm not 4-wall, I'm not PRG. I can't afford like $4,000 fixtures. I can't, but I can buy used good fixtures, or I can go to Parts Unknown and source my own fixtures, which is what I choose to do. So follow me. Again, lighting has probably changed the most since you've seen the shop update, but maybe not. Starting back here, all truss. We got truss on totems. We leave these on base plates. If somebody needs a TV or something, we just leave them there. Super simple to get to. More truss stuff, corners, briefcase hinges for making like pitched roofs and stuff. All the Global Truss hardware is over there. I can't mention lighting without mentioning Dmx Cable. We have bought so much cable, just so much cable, and we still don't have enough. Like, that's one of the things people, you think you can like do production stuff, and I thought, I'm the same guy. I don't want to say you think. I thought I could just get into production with what I had, not buy anything, buy the big stuff maybe, and be fine. It's not the big stuff. It's all the small stuff. So we literally have cases and cases. 3 foot, 5 foot, 10, 10 and less, 10 and more, 5 pin, 5 pin. There's, in this box alone, I'm going to say there's probably 7-8 grand worth of cable here. Blake?
It's probably close. I'll count them next week. In cable
alone. It's one of those things. You buy lights, that's cool, but then you gotta buy signal cable to get them there. So I can't mention lights without mentioning DMX. Super important. Truss, Generico, American style truss. It's not Tomcat, it's not XSF. It's a little tier under there, but this gets you like in the professional realm of truss. Can handle more weight for like heavier lights and bigger PA, and it's a necessary evil. I still got all my global stuff, which we use a bunch, but now if we're using global, it's strictly for lighting or strictly for aesthetics. It just can't, the deflection, once you get on 40-foot runs, the deflection's too much. It just can't hold the weight that like Bolt American truss can. Beams, 7R beams, Sharpies, 5Rs, 230 watt, whatever. They're bright ass flashlights, basically. They'll cut through some smoke. They look cool while they're doing it. I've got 8 of them. I'm not buying any more. There's a shop up the road from me that we do a lot of work with. They've got like 30. If I need more, I'll rent them. There's no need in me owning them. I'm to that point now where if I can rent something, I'm probably gonna, until I get, you know, some space. And then we got these big heavy bastards. These are new, not new, but they're new to me. 1200 watt Verilight VL 3K, VL 3000 spots. They're bright. They look fantastic. They're still rider friendly. Great fixtures. I picked them up at an incredible deal. So we got 8 of those. This case holds 2 fixtures. Like this, it's probably 6 foot, 5 foot long, probably 1,000 pounds. Like legit, serious. Like my first, I wouldn't say professional. Yeah, probably my first like industry rider accepted pretty much everywhere. VL3Ks. They are old, but they still work great. In this case here, we've got our LED blinders, little 4-banger blinders. In this case here, we've got 10 of our 3-meter battens. They work well for washing wide walls. You can do pixel mapping stuff with them, but generally we use them as uplights or effect light or whatever. But we've got 10 of those battens, 4 of these blinders, and then 8 of the VL 3K spots. So when I talk about buying fixtures from like places unknown, or I bought them from China. I went overseas, did a little international shopping. Picked up 16 of these fixtures here. They are they're an aura style wash fixture. PowerCon in and out, 5-pin DMX in and out. I had these like built to my spec of things that I wanted in a fixture. They're an Aura style fixture. They work well, they're lightweight. I needed some wash fixtures and I couldn't. Again, I'm not in a point in my career or in my business acumen where I can spend, I got a quote for 16 Chauvet Rogue R3s in cases delivered. It was like 30 grand. I can't do that. I've got like a fifth of that in these and they work well. I'm not saying it's the same fixture because it's not. You get what you pay for. And it's a hassle buying shit from China too. It's not just like getting on Amazon and buying something. You got to negotiate. There's a language barrier. There's a time barrier. But I bought these. We've had them a month or two. But Aura 16 Aura style fixtures. In this case here, we've got 4 of our cold spark units with powder. This case has 2 Radiance Ultratech Radiance hazers in it. Big rolling case back here in the back. That's where we keep all of our Source 4s or our Lecos. If you don't know what those are, those are Lecos. A lot of the younger people watching this have probably never used them, probably never will, but gobos, spotlights, theater, like those are the go-to. They also work well for monograms, especially in Arkansas where we've got a lot of venues that have a ton of light and it's hard for a projector to cut through that. Sometimes you just need the power of light. A 575 is going to perform heads and tails over an LED fixture or even like a laser projector. So that's what we do a lot of our monogram projection with. We'll move this out of the way. We've got my very first set of uplights, which I also did a little international shopping on. These things, with the exception of my EV sound system, have made me more money. These things literally print money. If you don't have uplights, at this point, I wouldn't even suggest owning them. Just rent them from somebody because everyone's got them. So we've got 36 of like the bigger puck style. And then we've got, how many? 24. These are the new uplights that Rick Webb has, Joe Bunn has. These are from Both or Booth Lighting. They're like the square, they're the square Freedom style fixture. I haven't had any problems with them. I love, they're from China, easy. I love the battery life on these things. They literally, I think 100%, I think if you had one on full battery, it would last a complete day. I've left lights on here in the shop when I'm filming something, come back next afternoon, still going. So that's the one thing that I like about these fixtures is the battery life. One thing I'm not a huge fan of is the quality control. Like I ordered 8 of them through my homie Rick Webb. He hooked me up with a discount because I bought 24 of them in cases. And one of them came in, it was a battery issue, then it was something else. But again, it's so little money, it's buy a new light. It's not even that big of a deal. So we've got 24 of those. They work really well, battery lasts all day. And it's not even something I got to worry about. These 2 cases, these are our big IP Source 4 PARs. Essentially, the PAR bars that are sitting over here on the ground, they pull a lot of power. These things, they just work. They're like old school traditional PAR cans. These are also 575. If you're watching a big stage deck and need a lot of light, these work perfect. But they draw a lot of power, and you know, they're heavy and they get hot and etc., etc. I needed at the time a fixture that we could hang on the fronts of stages, and if they got wet, it wasn't a big deal. I didn't want to have to run a lot of power because I was running out of room on my distro. So I bought those IP rated PARs. Again, did a little international shopping. They work well. We're going to probably start using them less and less now that we've got the Aura fixtures, because we can use those on an upstage. And we won't have to get up there and manually focus. We can do it all from the ground. We just got to hang the fixtures. I don't know if these have the punch to wash a complete front deck, or at least my Aura fixtures. I don't know that they've really got that punch, or if I'm going to have to get into like a Chauvet Rogue Storm, basically the same fixture but better LEDs, built better QC. It's a better fixture all around. But we're probably going to stop using our IP bars as much and strictly go with the movers, just because it makes it easier to focus and all that. And then we got miscellaneous stuff that we don't have cases for. These are the Chauvet Wash Effects 2s. These are super freaking bright, especially for what they are. If you don't have a pair of these, or if you need a good wash fixture, color mixes really well. The Chauvet Wash Effects 2s, they now also have the Chauvet Wash Effects Hex. I think it's got UV. You can use them for UV parties. They're super bright. They work great. We use those a lot in combination with our dots lighting systems. We'll put those on. We'll put the dots on, then we'll put those wash effects on top. And we've done outside events, several hundred people with those, and it washed the stage just fine. So Wash Effects 2s, highly recommend. Bistro lighting, black and white. Was doing mostly with black. I think we're going to start switching over to the white, simply because these are LED. They're a lot easier to get up and down. They don't weigh as much. We've got 400 feet of both, but black lights, bistro lights, or not black lights, black bistro lights, white bistro lights. There's some good money to be made when doing bistro lights, but it's always more labor intensive than what you think. You think you're going to go and hang 2 simple strands, going to take 30 minutes. It won't. It'll take an hour and a half, just because there's always, literally always something. In this Pelican, we've got 4 UV panels. I don't remember who makes them, but I got these off Amazon for blacklight parties. These things, they work well and they're cheap. I want to say maybe $100 for a pair of them. Pretty cheap. In this box, we've got the Martin M Touch controller, which is the little brother to the lighting desk. I built this lighting desk over COVID. Essentially, it's an Onyx NX2 with the Intel NUC behind it. So I've got 4 universes here, capable of doing 64 or maybe 128 over ArcNet. But it's basically, this is a standalone MIDI controller that works off of the Onyx software. We've got a keyboard, we've got a touchscreen computer. I've got an APC battery on this. It's always nice to be able to have your desk open on the stage while you're programming lights, and then unplug it, walk to front of house, and still keep power on it. That's something some other consoles don't have, or maybe it's not built in internally, whatever. But it's nice to be able to walk away from this from front of house and still have power, or if you lose power on deck, which happens all the time. Hey, we need to shut off power to plug something in. It happens all the time, but at least you still got power to your lighting desk. These cases from the good old Harbor Freight are the Dots T-Par system, which I was talking about earlier. I've got 2 of those. They work fantastic. Some battery-powered pin spots, confetti cannons, and then just various stuff. Confetti, fog juice, hazer juice, parts. That's all that. I'm trying to think if there's any more lighting that we haven't discussed. The Legend 412s, the little bitty wash movers that I did have, they were just getting old. I literally used those until I couldn't anymore. Where they've got some red LEDs out or red diodes out. You got to know when it's time. I rode those fixtures as long as I could, probably longer than I should have. If it wasn't for COVID, I would have made the Aura purchase a year ago, but we just didn't know where we stood. But they're for sale. If now they're not on sale, but they're for sale. If you want to buy them, they're in the Reverb shop. Link in the description. All the stands, lighting stands, these are the Global Truss ST132s, I think, something like that. Holding up truss for lighting jobs. More lighting stands. That's it. This thing has come in super clutch. Elation SD12. You need a couple channels of DMX. Let's say you're shooting off sparklers or confetti cannons or whatever. You need a couple channels of DMX. You don't need a controller or computer. Bingo. It's battery powered. It's awesome for sparks, confetti cannons, any of these 1-2 channel effects, things that you need DMX for. Works fantastic. Now, some of that stuff comes with wireless remotes. I'm not a big wireless guy anymore. Wireless has let me down too many times, but it is something that is kind of a necessary evil. So whenever we do need wireless DMX, we've got a ton of the Donner battery powered wireless DMX, the regular wireless DMX. We got a ton of them. I don't use them as much anymore. You go out on a job that isn't yours, a la subcontracted, and it doesn't work, and it makes you look like an idiot, not only to the vendor that hired you, but to your guests that aren't even yours or clients that aren't even yours. You start to use it less and less. And needless to say, that's what happened to us, or at least that's what happened to Blake. We've done the office. We've done audio. This is lighting. The next video is going to be everything else. And believe me, there's so much miscellaneous stuff around here. You'll figure out what's up.